This Friday evening, over the next 60 minutes, we're going to get you every news that's making headlines in your world at 9 p.m. on India Tonight, right here on ET Now, India's #1 business channel. I'm Supriya, Shrinate in New Delhi, and let's take a quick look at the big story on the show this evening then, because this is a big jolt to the proposed anti-BJP Mahagathbandhan. Just days after the RJD chief Lalu Prasad Yadav talked about the possibility of Mayawati and Akhilesh Yadav joining hands to take on the BJP in the 2019 Lok Sabha elections, the CBI has come calling at his doorstep. The country's premier investigative agency, which conducted raids across 12 premises associated with Lalu Yadav, today registered a case against him and his family members on corruption charges. The CBI alleges that Lalu gifted away the contracts to run 2 railway hotels in exchange of 3-acre prime plot in the heart of Ranchi. While the CBI's move has forced Lalu to go on the defensive, the bigger casualty is the proposed anti-BJP Grand Alliance. Many believe Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar will now be under pressure to review his ties with the RJD, even as it paves the way for a BJP-JDU remarriage. Remember, Nitish has already announced support to NDA's presidential candidate Ramnath Kovind, putting a strain on opposition unity. The political ramifications of the CBI raid against Lalu Yadav is a top story right here on India Tonight.
The Yadav clan is in the dock again. With more skeletons tumbling out of the closet, former Bihar Chief Minister Lalu Prasad Yadav, his wife Rabri Devi and son Tejaswi Yadav are now facing the CBI heat. India's top investigative agency today raided properties related to Yadav's kin in 12 locations across India. Registering a formal case of corruption, the CBI has also put former Union Minister Prem Chand's wife and 2 private hoteliers on the radar. The CBI has alleged criminal conspiracy and cheating on part of the RJD Supremo and claims that Yadav had ordered privatization of hotels in Ranchi and Puri under the IRCTC during his tenure as the railway minister, via rigged tenders which ensured that properties were sold to private hoteliers in Patna in what looked more like a private barter. Lalu and his family are believed to have received commercial lands in exchange that was later converted into a mall. The CBI even grilled Rabri Devi for 8 straight hours in the matter. The RJD chief, meanwhile, is playing the victim card yet again and calls it vendetta politics to break opposition unity.
ये चाहते हैं कि हमको नस्ताबूद करें। सुनो मोदी, अमित शाह, फांसी के फंदे पर लटक जाएंगे, लेकिन तुम्हारा संपूर्ण रूप से सारा बुनियाद, तुम्हारा अहंकार चूर-चूर हम कर देंगे और हमारी जनता चूर-चूर कर देगी। महागठबंधन में लड़ाई कराना चाहते हो, ये सारा चीज को हम लोग समझ रहे हैं।
Even as Lalu's defense can't be put past him, given the timing and the intensity of the CBI probe, it certainly throws a spanner in the works as it comes a day after Yadav spoke of stitching together a big alliance for 2019. It also adds pressure on Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar to distance himself from his ally in the Mahagathbandhan, who ironically has more allies than Nitish's JDU in the assembly. Shivangi Acharya, ET Now, New Delhi.
Now, even as the Bharatiya Janata Party says that if Lalu has not done anything wrong, there is nothing for him to fear. But the opposition insists that the government is using all its agencies to break the opposition, and the CBI raids on Lalu Yadav is a case of nothing but political vendetta.
This reflects the insecurity of the BJP. This reflects their tendency to rewrite history and to attempt to fool the people by ignoring concrete facts of political history.
आरजेडी के लोग जिस ढंग से बीजेपी पर आरोप लगा रहे हैं कि राजनीतिक विद्वेष है, मैं समझता हूं गैर जिम्मेदाराना ये स्टेटमेंट है.
Now they are screaming that if there is no proof, then what are you worried about? So go and face it in the court, challenge it, say there is no basis whatsoever.
आप अपने राजनीतिक प्रतिद्वंदियों से अब इन उपकरणों के माध्यम से लड़ रहे हैं, और वो उपकरण क्या है जो हम लगातार कह रहे हैं, जो भाजपा के नए गठबंधन सहयोगी हो गए, आईटी, ईडी, सीबीआई.
You know, we've got to take this story forward and get in political perspective on this. And joining me, two very, very special guests, Pawan Khera of the Congress Party and Sanju Verma, who represents the BJP on the show. Thanks, both of you, for being with us. And Mr. Khera, if I may actually begin with you and ask you a very point-blank question. Corruption charges against Lalu are not new. This is, of course, yet another new case on this has come in, alleged charges of corruption on how railway hotels were leased out. My question is really on the impact. I think it's for the agencies to find out where the truth lies, but this is on the impact. Just a day after he spoke about this Mahagathbandhan, is it a big jolt to the anti-Modi bloc that people like Lalu are trying to build?
No, I won't. I think this should be jumping the gun. The Mahagathbandhan is in the process of evolving a common ground and fight this nefarious ideology of the RSS and the BJP. And as I said, it's an ideological battle. So these are small hiccups which will come and go, and there will be several more, because this is the kind of government which really knows how to misuse the agencies. All along, Congress was accused of doing that, but I wish we'd done that. So, no, as I said, these are hiccups, and I don't see why people would not join each other to fight and defeat this ideology, which is defeating the very essence of India.
All right, so two takeaways: a sense of India being disturbed by this and misuse of agencies. I wonder what the BJP has to say on this, because they've accused the Congress for a long time, and caged parrot is a phrase that was used against the Congress by the former CBI director. But Sanju Verma, I want to ask you a reaction to what Pawan Khera just said, and also what sort of a ramification do you believe the CBI case today has on not just Bihar politics, but India at large?
Supriya, first of all, thank you for having me on your show. Now, let me put the record straight. I'm surprised that somebody as erudite as Pawan Khera made a comment which is so flippant and so laughable. Let me put, something in front of your audience. This is not even about the CBI. I'm sure the Supreme Court, the apex court of this country, at least the credibility of the Supreme Court is something that nobody can question. Now, let me tell you that on the 8th of May 2007, and this is very important, which nobody in the media is carrying out, and your audience needs to be told, on the 8th of May 2017, the Supreme Court actually said that the Jharkhand High Court should go ahead and proceed. An investigation should be carried out against Lalu Prasad Yadav, not only under sections 420, which pertains to cheating, 120B, which pertains to criminal conspiracy, 201, which pertains to making false claims, and 511, which pertains to committing offences punishable with life imprisonment, but that each of the charges should be independently pursued in the 21-year-long 1,000 crore fodder scam, which has yet to come to fruition and see Lalu going back to jail. Because the fact remains that barring him from, active electoral politics for 11 years is certainly not the end of the story. So by saying what Pawan Khera just did, I think he's running foul of contempt of court and questioning the very credibility of the Supreme Court, which, mind you, castigated the Jharkhand High Court, which had said that criminal conspiracy charges be dropped, and the Supreme Court reinstated that. And as for the Congress saying that, it's vendetta politics, tell me, Supriya, has the Congress ever respected any institution, from a constitutional body like the CAG to statutory bodies like the CVC and the CBI? The Congress has made a mockery of all of these in the last 10 years of UPA's dispensation. So for Pawan Khera to come here and whine and wallow in persecution complex is something that I'm absolutely not surprised about.
Okay, I'm not going to let the show be hijacked by the, the Supreme Court observations. Hello? We can make references to them. No, one second, Sanju. Sanju, 1 second. I'm going to ask you a very direct question. I asked you the ramifications. I'm going to ask you the charges that are coming in from the Congress party and also from Lalu camp. They say this is vendetta politics. A day after Lalu spoke about, making an anti-Modi bloc, here comes the CBI. So all I'm trying to get to is, CBI has been used by the Congress. Is it also being used by the BJP? I'm not batting for Lalu Yadav, not for a minute, but I do want to ask you this question.
Okay. Yeah. Supriya, you know, you have been an anchor with a leading business channel for so many years. Tell me honestly, what does the Benami Transactions Act of 1988, which was amended and introduced in the Lok Sabha in 2015 before it became a law thanks to the Narendra Modi-led government a couple of months back, what does it say? Benami transaction is something when you buy a property in a fictitious name, or a property is held or transferred to a person by some other person who does not have the resources to pay the consideration of the property and has still bought the property. And if you look at any of Lalu's properties today, which were earlier bought under fictitious names, right from Fairgrow to AK Infosystems to AB Exports to Mishail and KKH Holdings, what is the one common link? All these properties were bought under fictitious names. Finally, they got transferred to Lalu and to his daughter Misha, her husband Shailesh, and his other two daughters Ragini and Chanda, and his sons Tejaswi and Tej Pratap Yadav. As per the Benami Amended Act, as it stands today, Lalu Yadav is guilty of running foul of the Benami Transactions Bill 2016. And his place is in the jail with at least minimum of 7 years of imprisonment, a hefty fine and more. So for anyone to think that, you know, the government is running vendetta politics, I think that's making a mockery of the legal system and the institutional framework that is at hand. Don't forget, the CBI is not a handmaiden of the government. Unlike in the Congress dispensation when they used Salim Ali to chase and hound Narendra Modi and Amit Shah for 12 long years, and they went through, as they say, baptism by fire, by going to every court in the country, sitting for hours through painful interrogation. Why is the Congress and the RJD running away? We did not run away, our leaders did not run away, and they have come clean. They have been, you know, declared infallible by the apex court of this country.
Sanju, I'm going to
so much for espousing pearls of wisdom on morality and corruption by Pawan Khera.
Miss Verma, I get your point. I am going to get Pawan Khera to answer what the issues that you've raised. Pawan Khera, you can have a direct face-off with her. Please answer some of the questions that she's raising. She's saying the Congress party.
I'm sorry. I don't want any. Supriya, I don't want any face-off with anyone. She did not raise any. She did not raise any issues. So I don't think it's proper for me to respond to some things. Argument by intimidation and argument by subversion is not what I am here for. My simple thing is I was not commenting on the fodder scam at all. So for her to twist and hide behind the Supreme Court and talk rubbish, can she stop? I didn't interrupt.
Sorry.
Ask her to not interrupt. Otherwise, I walk out of the show. That's not the way I'd like to work.
Miss Verma, just hang on. Miss Verma, you please hang on. You spoke for 4.5 minutes. Miss Verma, you spoke for 4.5 minutes. Please let him make his own points, Miss Verma. Please let him talk. Go ahead, Mr. Khera.
She can use unparliamentary words for me. I will not respond in that language, but I don't tolerate anybody interrupting me because I don't interrupt anyone. So ask her to keep quiet and maintain some decorum of this debate, because your debates, Supriya, are always full of decorum. Now coming to the CBI. Why I said that CBI is suddenly acting very rapidly is that when it comes to Amit Shah, the CBI forgets and drops all charges. When it comes to Advani ji and Murli Manohar Joshi ji, because they don't suit the politics of Mr. Modi and Amit Shah, suddenly the CBI gets very active. And when Lalu Yadav says that I'll unite the opposition against Mr. Modi in 2019, the CBI, the ED and the IT, I have never seen them work so fast. Now, we are accused of misusing the CBI. I wish we had done that. I say that again. Why? Because when the hotels were being privatized under the Atalji's government, a hotel for 50 crore was sold for 7 crores. I wish we had misused the CBI. A hotel in Bombay, which cost around 150 crores, was sold for 20 crores. I wish we had misused the CBI. And when it came to the Congress, just charges without any unsubstantiated charges on Ashok Chavan, on Shashi Tharoor, on Pawan Bansal, on Arvind, we removed them. We sought their resignation without even getting into the merits or the demerits of the charges. They are talking about Congress misusing.
Pawan Khera,
now, what Lalu ji has done or not done, let the courts decide. May I please finish? What Lalu ji has done or not done, let the courts decide. How can Sanju Verma, she may be a very good lawyer, how can she say she pronounces them guilty? That's contempt of the judicial system of this country. Sitting in a studio and saying that she pronounces them guilty? What rubbish!
Okay. Mr. Khera and Ms. Verma, I've got both your points. Both of you are very agitated. Both of you believe that the CBI is being used by the BJP against the Congress. The Congress is the same against the BJP. Those are the allegations. Let me ask you a direct question, Mr. Khera. Now that these charges have been alleged... No, Ms. Verma, please hang on. No, Ms. Verma, no. I have a direct question. You're going to answer that for me. I'm not going to get into the semantics and the theatrics of this. Mr. Khera, I have a direct question for you. Sure, these charges will be proven later, but the fact that the Deputy Chief Minister, that Deputy Chief Minister of Bihar has been questioned by the CBI, does he have a moral authority to continue? Do you not believe that Tejaswi Yadav should resign?
Supriya, there is a law of the land. As per the law of the land, getting questioned by the CBI does not amount to a guilt. He can't. Why should he resign just because he's getting questioned? That's the process of law. If he's pronounced guilty, not by Sanju Verma, but by a court of this country, yes, the law of the land comes into play. So let's not jump the gun just because a lady called Ms. Sanju Verma pronounces someone guilty. No, I'm sorry, he should not resign.
Okay, he should not resign is the word coming in from the Congress party. They're also allies in the Mahagathbandhan. But Sanju Verma, you believe that Tejaswi Yadav should resign on grounds of moral politics?
Supriya, thank you for allowing me to rebut. I'm surprised at the churlish and childish behavior of Mr. Pavan Khera. Of course, nobody should, resign because Sanju Verma says so. But, he would do well to remind his lazy scion and lazy dynast Rahul Gandhi, who's baying for Modi's resignation at the drop of a hat. So much for the Congress's hypocrisy. Let me just go back to one question that you asked and which Pavan Khera raised. That, is the BJP scared? Is the BJP afraid? The BJP scared? After winning 8 out of every 10 elections that have been held since May 2014 under Rahul Gandhi's inept leadership, so to speak, the Congress has lost more than 30 assembly and civic body elections. So who are we trying to fool here? The BJP wins elections on the ground. The Congress does not even win a Twitter fight. What? Let me put the record straight. Now let me tell you one more thing. Should Tejaswi and Tej Pratap Yadav be stripped of their portfolios and deputy chief ministerships? Of course. But for reasons, pertaining to moral turpitude.
All right.
But then when has moral turpitude been reason enough for Lalu and his cohorts to step away from active politics?
No. One second. Miss Verma, I'm going to intervene you there. Miss Verma, no.
Arrested by the income tax department already. Rajesh Agarwal, Misha Bharti's...
Sanju Verma, can I ask you a direct question? Sanju Verma, I will ask you a direct question and I will hold your word to it. Sanju Verma, you will have to allow me to speak. This is my show. Please let me speak. I'm asking you a direct question. If moral aptitude is the reason for people to resign because the CBI is at their door, what about Uma Bharti? She's a minister in the central government. She has a case in the Lucknow bench of the court. What are you talking about? Shouldn't that be a reason for Uma Bharti, L.K. Advani, a sitting member of parliament, or Murli Manohar Joshi to resign? Can allegation be a reason to resign?
So let me come in here. Uma Bharti, L.K. Advani, if the courts decide that they have to be convicted, the needful will be done. But the fact remains that you, in the media, carry out such a selective media trial and selective outrage. Have you asked Pavan Khera what is the status of Robert Vadra? What is the status of Priyanka Vadra buying properties and selling them through Skylight Hospitality, Omkareshwar Properties, Skylight Realty? And let me tell you, the Dhingra Commission was set up under the aegis of the CAG, which is not a handmaiden of the government but a constitutional body. Will you first ask Pavan Khera to explain that? Because I'm tired of the BJP being put in the Katghara every time. For a change, put Pavan Khera in the Katghara.
No.
The 1.86 lakh crore coal scam, 1.76 lakh crore spectrum scam. Where has the money disappeared? And these people cry wanting 15 lakhs into their account.
Supriya?
They should be ashamed of themselves. पहले का हिसाब
No, 1 second.
हमको जो करना है हम करेंगे. We believe in ना
अच्छा,
खाऊंगा
उस
ना
हिसाब
खाने
को
दूंगा.
पूरा करने के लिए संजू जी
ना खाऊंगा ना खाने दूंगा.
Okay, Sanju ji, to settle accounts, उस हिसाब को पूरा करने के लिए पवन खेरा को आपको बोलना पड़ेगा.
Okay,
संजू वर्मा हिसाब पूरा करने के लिए
Supriya, I wish.
Okay. Sanju Verma has had prior experience of finance, and which is why she wants to settle accounts. But for Mr. Pawan Khera to settle the accounts, you'll have to allow him to speak. Please go ahead and quickly make your point. But Mr. Pawan Khera, while we may laugh about this, the fact of the matter is that you are a partner of the Mahagathbandhan, where very serious corruption charges have been raised. You cannot deny that, Mr. Khera.
I agree. Absolutely, but I thank Sanju Verma for providing me this entertainment. Today was a rough day for me. I went to 6 shows, and I'm very grateful to you for allowing me to laugh.
Yes,
now,
that is why you're reduced
for
to 44.
Advani ji, Kalyan Singh ji and Uma Bharti.
That is why you're reduced to 44. Mr. Khera, thanks to your false bravado.
Supriya, who is the anchor in this show?
Bravado,
okay, Ms. Verma, let him talk.
Show, you or Sanju?
Actually, it happens to be me. It happens to be me. Ms. Sanju, just hang on. Let him talk. I put a direct question to him. Let him please talk. Please go ahead, sir.
So when it comes to Advani ji, Uma ji and Kalyan Singh ji, the courts will let the courts decide and then they'll resign. But when it comes to anybody in the opposition, just because the CBI is gone on their doorsteps, they should resign. That's the Sanju Verma school of jurisprudence. Well, maybe we are living in a dictatorship. The law will also change very soon. And when it changes, yes, we'll all resign. But till then, please tolerate us. We are here to stay and we'll fight you. The other thing about CAG. Now, Mr. Modi, when he was Chief Minister of Gujarat, what happened to the CAG report on GSPC scam, which is 2 lakh crore? What happened to the Pulses scam? What happened to the recent spectrum allocation scam? Now, if you're talking about CAG, look at how your former Chief Minister of Gujarat treated the CAG or the Lokayukta or any other institution for that matter. Don't hurl stones on us, because right now you are vulnerable, very, very vulnerable, Sanjuji. It's very easy to be childish and theatrical, and I like it. It is very entertaining. But let's talk serious.
Okay.
Please respect institutions. These are not institutions which you created or I created. These are the founding fathers of our constitution. The CAG be respected and don't have double standards. For us, it's the CBI. For you, it's only the courts. Don't do that. It's not good. You don't sound very intelligent when you do that.
I have to bring this discussion back to Bihar, and I'm going to take a quick last question with both you and Ms. Verma. Ms. Verma, if I may start with you. Nitish Kumar was supposed to be the symbol of clean politics in Bihar. Answer my question first. Nitish Kumar was supposed to be this clean political symbol in Bihar. He got into this alliance with Lalu Yadav. He is now veering towards the BJP, supporting your presidential candidate. What's happening with Nitish Kumar, and how uncomfortable are you with the baggage that he's now carrying, if he's at all veering towards the BJP?
Supriya, you know, I'm not into crystal ball gazing, unlike Mr. Khera, who's still dreaming of perhaps 400 plus seats in 2019, forgetting this is not the 1980s. And you have an inept, laughable scion in Rahul Gandhi, under whom they've lost 30 odd civic body and assembly elections. And for Mr. Khera telling that, you know, I'm providing entertainment. Don't worry, Mr. Khera, I cannot compete with Rahul Gandhi. He's the best form of entertainment on Twitter. And we are so happy that you have him as the scion in waiting. Coming to your question, Supriya, let me be very candid that I don't think it's proper on my part to speak about what will be. But the fact remains that Mr. Nitish Kumar has very categorically said, and I think this whole thing blew up after Ramnath Kovind's candidature was out in the public domain as the, NDA's nominee. He has very categorically said that he is supporting Mr. Kovind on the basis of merits of his case, not simply because he's a Dalit. He's been an ex-Supreme Court lawyer. He served 2 terms as, a Rajya Sabha MP. He's absolutely clean, unlike Meera Kumar, who failed to pay, electricity bills worth 2 crore and her dad did not pay rent for 20 years. So much for the Congress's hypocrisy about, lauding Meera Kumar, who's supposedly clean. She has smear all over in terms of personal credibility. Because when you're a presidential nominee, it's not about your qualifications alone. Personal integrity matters as much, and there Mr. Ramnath Kovind wins hands down. And I think that was the start of the problem. And Lalu obviously was rattled. But now for him to say that the BJP is playing vendetta politics, excuse me, the CBI, the CVC, the ED, the Income Tax Department, the Supreme Court, are you saying every institution in the country is wrong? And why? Why should we believe you? What is Lalu Yadav's local stand-by? Daughter involved in 8,000 crore scam of money laundering, son-in-law involved in scams, daughters Ragini Chanda involved in scams,
Sons Tejaswi and Tej Pratap Yadav involved in scams. Lalu still awaiting conviction. Most likely he will be in bars if Supreme Court's diktat to Jharkhand High Court is anything to go by. What's the credibility of this man? I don't think we even need to discuss this. What will happen? Will the Mahagathbandhan break? Will Nitish, veer towards the BJP? I think that's still in the realm of imagination. When it happens, we will cross that bridge. When it happens, we will cross that bridge.
Pawan Khera, I will have a last question with you, and this is a direct question. How uncomfortable is the Congress party being part of a Mahagathbandhan where the Chief Minister is veering towards a presidential nominee by the opposing party, which is the BJP in this case, Lalu Yadav, the other part of the Mahagathbandhan, smeared with corruption charges, and not just him, his wife and his sitting Deputy Chief Minister's son. And you are the junior ally in that partnership. How uncomfortable is that? Please don't tell me it's not uncomfortable. Please don't tell me it's not embarrassing.
First of all, Supriya, for Ms. Sanju Verma to believe that she can pose any competition to Rahul Gandhi, I just want to remind her that she can only pose a competition to Mr. Kapil Sharma, the comedian. Coming to your question, Supriya, Mr. Nitish Kumar, when he did not, may I please, Supriya, when during the Pranab Mukherjee election, Mr. Nitish Kumar was a part of the NDA, but he voted for Mr. Pranab Mukherjee. So that did not pose any threat to the NDA or to that alliance. It's not. It is an issue-based Mahagathbandhan right now. We are for the ideology that we stand for. We are together in that. But to say that since he is not voting for Ms. Meera Kumar does not mean that he is veering away from the Mahagathbandhan. No, that's not true, because he's done that in the past and he's been very transparent about it, that it's an issue-based alliance. As far as our discomfort is concerned, no, we are not uncomfortable, because we know how this government has been functioning, we know how it has been misusing the agencies, and let's wait for the courts, let's wait for the law of the land to take its course. We cannot jump the gun like Sanju Verma does, because she's not used to being in power. This party is not used to being in power, and we don't blame them. We understand they are just learning, and let them learn. We'll give them time. They have 2 more years, and that's all. That's fine. But no, we are not uncomfortable at all. We'll wait out, and let's see what happens.
Okay, Pawan Khera and Sanju Verma, thank you very much for sparing time this evening and joining us right here on ET Now as we discuss and debate what's happening in Bihar and its ramifications on not just in national politics, but on 2 of the leading parties. Thank you very much, Sanju Verma and Pawan Khera, for being with us.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/ETNow.